Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily if you're new here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my favourite fantasy romance recommendations, which are all available on Kindle Unlimited. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So the first series I'm going to be talking about is the Crown of Nyxia series, which includes The Serpent in the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. I am obsessed with this series. This is available obviously on Kindle Unlimited. The story is about a human girl named Oriah, and she has grown up as a human in the vampire world. So there are 3 different courts within this vampire realm, and she has grown up in the Night Court her whole entire life. She was rescued by the crowned king of the Night Court, who was Vincent. She grew up fighting her whole life, learning to protect herself, and in this time, I think that Oriah is 25 during this, and not like this series. It takes part in a tournament called the Kajari. So every 200 years the Kajari is held. She and other vampires obviously enter in the Kajari, and to win the Kajari you must defeat everyone else in the tournament. So she must either kill or they be killed by whatever is in the tournament. Different trials that are set out over a 3-month period, and in that 3 months, like the 5 trials are held, you obviously fight to the death. It's basically what the story is about. And then she meets, on the first night of being put into the Kajari, she meets the male main character, Rain. I was pronouncing him as Ryan. Don't worry about my pronunciation. Apparently it's Rain. So Rain is our male main character. Rain is definitely your very intriguing male main character. He is a vampire as well, so things happen. A very, very slow burn romance starts, and you literally will be pulling your hair out throughout the whole entire book. It is so enthralling and engrossing, like, for the development of this relationship. So I absolutely loved The Serpent in the Wings of Night. And I'm just going to mention The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King because I'm currently reading that at the moment on my Kindle. I'm only like 9% in, but I know that I'm going to absolutely love it because I love the character in this series. The next series that I'm going to be talking about is the Folk of the Air series. Now this is obviously more plot driven than romance driven, but we do see a romance start, enemies to lovers, from the Wicked King through to the Queen of Nothing. This is by Holly Black, this series. We obviously have the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, and the Queen of Nothing. The Cruel Prince and the Queen of Nothing are actually available on Kindle Unlimited in Australia. So if you would like to read this series, I highly recommend it. It is pure, true enemies to lovers. We don't even see romance start really until the Wicked King, and then slowly it gets stronger and stronger. So I absolutely love this series. The Folk of the Air is about female main character Jude. She is a human girl who has grown up in the Elfheim realm, so in the Fae realm. Her nemesis is Carden Greenbearer. He is the king's son of Elfheim. She goes to school with her twin sister Tara. See her get bullied really badly by Carden and his group of friends, but I absolutely love this series. It is honestly my favorite YA fantasy series. I absolutely adore the characters in this series as well, so I thought I would mention that. The next book I'm going to mention is Guild by Raven Kennedy. I read this book I think back in January. I did really enjoy it. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. I haven't read any of the other books in the series though, so I can't really talk much on the series as a whole, but I do recommend you pick up Guild. It is also on KU. Oren is our female main character in this series. She is a woman who was touched by the Gold Touch. This is a King Midas retelling. We follow Oren go through a lot of self-growth. At the start of the book, she was just like wanting to be the king's puppet. She didn't care about anything else. She just wanted to be loved, and she's locked in a cage in the beginning, and then throughout the novel we see her really grow as an individual, set out on an adventure, and yeah, everything just changes for her. And I really loved the heroine in this book. She started off not too strong as a main character, which we do see quite a lot in a lot of the fantasy romance books. Like, we see a lot of strong main characters, and Oren wasn't very strong to start with. She was quite depressed, I would say, but just check for trigger warnings in this series. I've heard that there are quite a lot of trigger warnings, so just be aware of that. But I absolutely love this and I cannot wait to continue on with the series. I've been saying this for months now, but I really do want to pick up the next book. I look forward to that. Next series I'm going to be talking about is the Stars and Shadows series. This series is a trilogy which is on Kindle Unlimited. It is by Holly Renee. The first book is A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows. The second book is A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal, and the third book is A Kingdom in Venom and Vow. I'm pretty sure they're the titles. I'll put them all on the screen. I have only read the first 2 books, but I frothed them. Everin is one of my favourite book boyfriends now. He has the dirtiest mouth I've ever heard. This is pure smart. Like, really no plot. Well, I mean, there is plot, but it's not the strongest plot that I've ever read before in a fantasy romance. But the smart is next level. I was obsessed and I cannot wait to read the third one. Our female main character in this series is... I keep calling her name Oriah, but it's actually Adara. I got mixed up. Sorry. Our female main character in this novel is the Starblessed. She has freckles on her face and on her back that shine starlight, so she has a lot of power, and she basically has been sold off to the royal court for this power. So there's an arranged marriage that's involved with one of the princes, and the prince's brother is Everin, so then a forbidden romance forms with that. A lot of political drama. We have vampires as well in this series. I just really recommend it. Like I said, there's hardly much in-depth plot compared to the smut and the romance, but the smut is really good. Holly Renee knows how to do her smut, so that is fantastic. This book that I'm going to talk about is The Never King by Nikki St. Crow. Now, I read The Never King. I haven't read the other books in the series. I'm not too sure what they're called, but I'll put them up on the screen. This is a Peter Pan retelling. Follow Winnie, who is a part of like the Wendy, and on her 18th birthday she is abducted by the Lost Boy and taken obviously to Neverland. It's very smutty, this book. Like, this whole entire book was smut and I loved it. I rated it not very highly, but reading experience was very enjoyable. Winnie's mum, but she wasn't herself at all. She was telling Winnie, like, you know, you need to make sure you lock your windows, lock your doors, never let Pan in. And she just thought her mum was whack. Like, she just like, no mum, like, are you sure you're okay? Like, are you on medication? Blah 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 blah. And Wendy's that have come back from Neverland have never been the same. Are pretty much traumatized, PTSD for the rest of their life. And yeah, something with Winnie completely changes and we get to see her journey over in Neverland. I just thought it was a very interesting concept and I thoroughly did enjoy my reading time with it. It is only a novella. I think it was only like 180 pages or so, but I really did enjoy it. The series that I'm going to be talking about is the Zodiac Academy series. So there's currently 8 books out in this series. Now, I've read up to Heartless Sky. I haven't read Sorrow and Starlight yet because that is like a 1200 page book and I'm just not ready for it yet. I'm not ready for my heart to be broken again. Heartless Sky left me on the biggest cliffhanger. I thought I was going to die. So our 2 female main characters in this series, Tori and Darcy, they are twins, the Baker twins, and this is an urban fantasy series. The twins are in the modern world, and on their 18th birthday they are basically visited by 2 male characters. Dorius, I think, was the first one to come and collect them, and Orion. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was those 2 to start with that took them over to Solaria. So we follow Darcy and Tori, and they are the Baker twins, so they actually are descendants of the king and queen, the previous king and queens before the current airlines. So on their 18th birthday they can come in and claim their inheritance if they attend the Zodiac Academy. They attend the academy, get put in through this trial to see if they have the power, and the 2 girls both have every single element. So they have fire, water, air, earth. So they have all the elements. Anyways, they're all the powers. They can wield every single one, and they're put into the school. So this is a very heavy bully romance. So we follow our 4 male antagonists. I would say they're antagonists. Honestly, they're not pro. They're bullies through pretty much the first 4 books, I would say. I don't exactly remember when everything changed, but I think it was the first 4 books. We just got bully. So we follow Orion, Dorius, Seth, Max, and Caleb. So Orion is one of the professors at the Zodiac Academy. 4 other boys are heirs to the throne. Their family, like each of their families are a part of the court and everything goes through them basically. Dorius's father is very, very threatening throughout this whole entire series, I would say, but I really, really, really did enjoy this, and I am obviously still reading it. I think there's another book coming out next year. I'm so excited to continue with it. I love and adore every single one of these characters. Honestly, the first book was not the best. I would say that myself. It was not the best at all, but you really need to continue on with the series. There's 8 books. So many books. From the 3rd book, I would say it gets really good, and 100% just stick it out until the 3rd book. They are quite lengthy books, but there's just so much drama in every single one of the books that you just want to keep reading and reading and reading. I read the first 7 books in less than 2 months. Like, I was obsessed and hooked. One up the other, one up the other. This series got me into reading. So every single one of these books are on Kindle Unlimited as well. That's the end of this video, guys. Those are like the main books that I've read on Kindle Unlimited. I haven't read a lot of fantasy, romance, or even like many Kindle Unlimited books on my Kindle. I was obsessed with it for quite a while, and then I started reading physical again. But I've just gotten back into the groove of reading on my Kindle because I love it so much. It is so convenient. I absolutely adore my Kindle so much. I used my Kindle quite a lot last year when I first started getting back into reading, and then I went back to physical books because I had an obsession with buying physical books. So now I have way too many books on my TBR. I can read books so much faster on there. There's so many good varieties of free books on Kindle Unlimited, which is why I highly recommend, if you don't have Kindle Unlimited already, to pick it up if you're interested in reading any of the books that I mentioned in today's video. Decked out my Kindle is so cute. I love the little stickers that I put on it, and the clear case just makes everything so much cuter. I'm obsessed, and I also just got a new pop socket for it, so that will be going on there, and I'm so excited. It's just so cute. You can deck out your Kindle any way you want. If you're ever thinking about buying one, I highly recommend you do. If you enjoyed any of the recommendations, if you've already read them, I hope you love them. If you have any thoughts and opinions, please leave them down in the comments below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.